You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 28th day of August, 2018. Hope you're having a great Tuesday, whoever you are, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, a special welcome to you. We are glad to have you. If you can't see the chart I have up of the S&P 500, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. 30 seconds, you'll be registered through the end of the month. Tip. Register the first day of the month. You got one-click access all month long. So do it today. Do it again the first of next month. You're good to go. And while you're out there going, go to youtube.com/CFRN/live. That's just in case the old go-to can't get up. You'll have somewhere else to go. And that's over to youtube.com/CFRN/live. Fair enough? Good. The chart I mentioned, which you can now see if you followed the instructions, Notice how price consolidated at this weekly trading zone, tried to make a move higher, came back, it's consolidating again today. Now you say, well, excuse me, sir. Yes. Isn't that what they're supposed to do? Why, yes, they are. These are last week's zones. The partners get the zones Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. The rest of the community gets them on Thursday. Oh, okay. And every Thursday I say, yeah, I might want to jot these down. Okay. So, had you had this as a trade to target yesterday, would that have helped you? I think so. And as price started to pull back, you don't know where it's going to hold, do you? Do you? You do. Well, you don't, but you think maybe, right? Because we never know what's going to happen next. That's the way God made us. All right, let's take a look at a little bit of news. And then we'll look at the numbers. Then we'll talk to Michael. Then we'll talk to John. Before it's all over, you'll be talking to yourself. True story. Okay. The Chinese crackdown continues, and this has nothing to do with drugs. The Chinese government has recently begun another crackdown on cryptocurrency investors. You see, it's pretty obvious the Chinese governments want to have the only crypto game in town. That's my thought. The latest stage in this effort is focused on the country's big three internet giants, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, commonly referred to together as BAT. We have our FANGs, they got their BATs. The Baidu search engine, known as China's Google, has reportedly closed a number of its popular crypto chat rooms, including the digital currency bar and the virtual currency bar, only explaining that this was done in accordance with relevant laws, regulations, and policies. Alibaba's Ant Financial announced it will restrict or ban Alipay accounts if they take part in cryptocurrency trades. Tencent stated it will monitor its WeChat network in real time to block crypto trading using the app. Somebody's not happy. This comes after already shutting down the WeChat social media accounts of several local crypto news outlets, blocking access to 124 foreign exchanges. Oh, I'm sorry, 124? You never know. Said to be targeting Chinese and banning hotels and other venues from hosting blockchain-related events. Hackers have allegedly stolen clients' personal details from the Brazilian crypto investment firm Atlas Quantum. While no funds were reported lost, the data of 264,000 people was compromised. CEO Rodrigo Marquez issued a statement explaining, "We believe that an unauthorized party has gained information about our customers' names, emails, phones, and balances. All other data, such as passwords, are encrypted and secure. There was no access to the funds in our custody. We are conducting an investigation supported by our information security team. In addition to authorities, the entire database and information were sealed the moment we heard about it. We emphasize that we are constantly monitoring all activities within our environment. Some features of the platform have been temporarily disabled as a precaution to ensure the safety of our customers against possible fraud attempts. We're working to restore it as soon as possible." And now for today's edition of the International Soap Opera. Thai police are expected to expand their probe of an alleged theft of over 5,000 BTC from a Finnish investor who was duped with promises of high returns in a casino ICO token in Macau. The case made headlines with the arrest of a local soap opera actor, 27-year-old Juratpasit. Why do I put myself through that? because I wanted to say the middle name, Boom. Geratpacit Boom, in quotes, Geravajit. See, I think, well, never mind. The soap opera actor is accused of colluding with his sister and brother on the scam. His parents were also questioned by police on Monday and denied any involvement. According to court documents cited by Thai media, suspects have conspired to commit fraud and engage in money laundering of 5,564 Bitcoin sent by 22-year-old, I'm not even going to go there. They promised the funds would be invested in a company called XPay Software Company and DragonCoin. Instead, the BTC was converted into fiat Thai baht and sent to 51 different bank accounts belonging to 7 people, with part of the money used to buy land in and around Bangkok. On my Westpac, the only place I didn't make it to was Thailand. Nice place, but you don't want to get in trouble there. True story. Taking a look at the numbers from around the world, these are cash markets. We'll get to the futures here momentarily. Starting at home in the U.S., the Dow is currently up 26 points. NASDAQ is up almost 6. S&P is flatlining, and the Russell 2000 is in the red, down almost 6 points on the session. In the commodity basket, crude oil off 16 cents, trading 68.71 last. Now we have API numbers this afternoon and crude inventories tomorrow morning. Gold down $1, trading 12.15 last. And the Asian markets. The Nikkei closed up 13. Shanghai was down 3. The Hang Seng added 80. No movers or shakers, but it is what it is. And in Europe, mixed bag as well. The FTSE was up 40 at the close. The DAX was down 11, and the CAC was up 6. Mixed in Asia, mixed in Europe, and mixed here at home. We're so close to that flat line with everything that a canary breaking wind in Lauderdale could put this thing on tilt. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. If anything happens, well, my colleague will let you know. S&P 500, oh, by the way, broke what important number today? Somebody say it. Go ahead. Never did it before. That's right. You got it. 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 Right here on my screen. Let us endeavor to draw a line. Better yet, a rectangle. 2,900. No one ever purchased an S&P 500 E-mini contract at this price before today. Now, as you remember, when we were in that heady bull market running into the real estate crash back in the early 2000s, 2007, whatever, 2008, I always wondered who that one guy was up there at 1,500 and change, whatever the high was on the S&P 500 that day. I mean, there's some guy, it could have been a fund, could have been anyone, but in my mind's eye, I always see that one guy who bought that very last contract at 1,500 and then watched the S&P 500 nosedive to 666. True story. Go look at your chart. Turns out, what a great place to get long, huh? I'm telling you, pretty sweet. Look at this. Oh, we'll get rid of that. And we'll make this an ES. Yes. Okay. Oh, you know what? We're going to make it an at ES. Okay. We're going to come off 30 minutes. We're going to go, let's go monthly. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. How much data can we get? We go all the way back to 2013. By the month, by the book. I'll watch this cleverness. Who are those men in their incredible trading machines? Run to cover. Can't tell you. Watch, watch. See that? Not a bearish cross. Nary. Nary a one. No bearish cross in almost 5 years. December 13. Right here we got a bullish cross. Almost got a bearish cross here. Nope. So as it turns out, you could have bought the S&P in 2013 and went on a very extended vacation and came back smelling pretty sweet. Now, as the flow cries, oh, remember Flow on TV, the commercial? Yeah, as the crow flies. But from here to here, it isn't a staggering sum of money. It's the back and forth and up and down and back and forth and up and down. And oh my goodness. Remember, each one of these candles right now is a month. One entire month of trading. I know. All right. Let's invite our friend Michael in. Michael, will you join us?
Good morning.
Huh?
Good. Yes, good afternoon.
Okay. I'll agree with that. I will agree with that. So you heard what I said about the record breaker, eh?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I watched it happen.
Were you guys popping corks when it happened in the room?
Well.
No? Okay.
No. No.
That's cool.
I was struggling to get the goal for the day. Actually, when it happened the first time, it went all the way to 29.06.
Spoiler alert! Okay, I just, in case somebody didn't want to know until you got there. A soap opera star caught up in a crypto scam. I bet that was on purpose. I bet the producers and the directors told her to do that because it would increase their ratings. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, hey, guess what?
What?
Okay, guess. Oh, you didn't? Okay. I don't know. It's not going to work. Why did... Oh, well, I've taken this out only like 50 times, and
I have the chance.
Oh, you can't see it anyway. All right, I'll show you maybe when I come back.
Okay.
Oh, try it, Nate. You got a browser handy?
Yeah.
Oh, just so happens. I got to get your chart back up. You got a tab? Hey,
yeah.
Brother, can you spare a tab? Type in babylost.org. See what you get. It dawned on me in the middle of the night that Baby Found might have been better, but something artistic about that. Not yeah.
Yeah,
That little black strip. I've taken it out. Now, if you hang on a second, they're gonna start playing. Oh, is this slow loading on your end, or is it just because it's coming back through the go-to?
I think it's going through the go-to. It's fine on my end.
Yeah. Okay. Scroll it down. Doobie-doo, down, down. Yeah, just keep scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. We were in Chicken Soup for the Soul, just in case you didn't know. Now slow down. See them little babies playing right behind that together? I did that. Okay, keep going. This is just a rough template. I got to go back and fix it. But you gotta have some bones to work with. You know what I mean? Oh God, how many times did I take that out? Image slide. That's just ridiculous. There's some beautiful, beautiful pictures on that image slide. I'll get you guys. You don't spoil it. Just that's what I just did. I spoiled it. That's one of our babies right there. Anyhow, go all the way to the bottom. One last cool thing, and I'll fix it. Please let me fix it before you go there, because the music doesn't play yet. See down at the bottom, very bottom left-hand corner of that map.
Yes, right there.
Yeah, baby. Yes, sir. Click it. Oh, nothing happens. Oh, can you scroll in? Or maybe you do the plus sign. I think you do the plus sign. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
What are we looking for?
That's the orphanage.
Oh, that's the orphanage. Oh, okay.
Well, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Somewhere in there.
There's 25 acres along that road. I don't know how long ago this satellite image was snapped, but it's what Google served up, so I took it.
Maybe right in here.
I don't know. What does it say? What does the print say? No, that's a medical center. Oh, that must be in town. I'm gonna have to get a better. You know, they're not big on addresses there. It's kind of like that in Mexico. Mail gets delivered, but nobody really has an address because they don't. Well, at least parts of Mexico that I've been to, some of the parts, they don't have street signs. What street is this? Oh, this street, it goes in front of my house. Yeah, I know. What's the name of the street? Name? My name Juan. Your name? No. What's the name of the street? L Avenue. Anyway. I guess you had to be there. Okay, you've humored me enough. Thank you.
Okay. Alright. Well, now we'll go over here.
Alright, babe. I'll hit mute. I'll be here when you get done.
Okay.
Giddy up.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, seriously, you are live.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 28th day of August, 2018. Let's start off with this. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the home page here at cfrn.net. Over here in the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. Click on that. Or you can click on a free 5-day trial here, or this. Click on any one of those, and eventually you're going to get to this page, where all we ask for is your email, your first name, how you found us. Hit the submit button. Once you hit the submit button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link, okay? If you don't click that confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial, okay? Okay. The results for today. As I said, today is the 28th day of August, 2018. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, we lost 12 ticks in the euro. We made 11 ticks in crude and 10 ticks in gold. That put us at plus 135 on the morning. Today, it took 110 minutes and 10 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up 122.50, and we took a total of 11 trade opportunities today. So on the month now, we're at 2,222. That's over 19 days, averaging 116 per day. 116 per day. Yeah. Okay, that's all we're going to do there. Now let's just look at the markets here. Okay. Gold, we started out, well, actually, we started out our day with crude oil, but on gold, we had a trade right here where we picked up 2 ticks. We missed one there. We missed one there. We picked up 8 ticks right there to give us plus 10 on the gold. Then we had one more break even over here. Okay, and there's been nothing on gold since then for the last hour. The euro beat us up a little bit today. We started out right here with a -8 on the euro. Then we missed a long trade right there that would have given us some of that back. We missed a short right here that wouldn't have really done anything. Then we picked up 2 ticks there to put us back to -6. We had a break even there, and we stopped out again. So we're back to -14 at that point. And we picked up 2 ticks right there to get us back to -12. During the break, there was a bounce off the BBC right here that gave some profit. And that was it for the euro today. Wow, crude oil's moving. All right, so we started off here with crude with a break even. Then we had another break even. Then we missed a momentum short trade. Then we picked up 11 ticks on this one. And we missed a long right there. Now, during the break, it looks like there was a shorting opportunity right here that would have dragged out forever. But it did eventually go down. There was another one right here for that leg. Another one right there for that leg. And one last one right there for that leg. Okay. Now, some of those may have been going into the low of the day. So you may not have been able to do those. It depends what it looked like when it was actually happening. Okay. Okay. On this page, let me see something here. on this page. What am I thinking? I totally got distracted. All right. We started out really, really choppy here with the ES, and it's really been a pretty narrow range today compared to what it has been lately. It's only about 14-point range today. But right here would have been a shorting opportunity, but I wasn't doing anything because I really wanted to see a breakout. And we didn't get anything. It's not trending there, not trending there. Too close to the zone here. And if anything, you may have a long opportunity here, but you have dynamic resistance printing right up above. So there's nothing you can do with that. Okay. Well, actually you could go long right here. And that was it. That was it on the ES today. So it's been that kind of day. All right. Today is the 28th day of August, as I said. And if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today we lost 12 ticks in the euro, made 11 in crude, made 10 in gold, plus 135 on the morning. It took 110 minutes and 10 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up 122.50, and we took a total of 11 trades. So gross monthly profit, 2,222. That's over 19 days, averaging 116 per day. That is one contract, 2 hours per day. On the year now, 23,321. That's over 157 days, averaging 148 per day. Again, that is one contract, 2 hours per day. If you have not taken the free trial with us, go to the home page at cfrn.net. And over here on the right-hand side, it says 5-day free trial. Apply.cfrn.net. You can click there or on any one of these other buttons down here. It'll bring you eventually to this page where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us, and hit the submit button. Once you hit that submit button, you will be sent the confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay? If you don't click the confirmation link, well, by golly, then we don't know that you took the free trial. Okay? So you must click that confirmation link. All right. That's it. With that, I can minimize this and pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Yes, and I got real familiar with that park yesterday.
Did you?
Park.
Did you,
Yeah.
Did you have success?
Oh. Yeah, guess where I found him?
Camping?
No, you said it the other day.
I did?
Well, and library.
That's where I thought. Yeah, that's where I thought you were going to find Emily.
Yeah, no, but I thought you said it. Yeah, anyway. We sat around all day yesterday convinced that the library was closed on Monday because that is his natural habitat. And he gravitates to them. One, because he loves to read, and two, because they have computers, and computers have games. And, and then my wife was doing something, and she goes, "Wait a minute, maybe it's Friday." And I'm like, "Okay." And we checked, and sure enough, and we got there like, Emily and I rushed over. We got there like 10 minutes before they closed. And there he was.
There he was.
I said, "What were you gonna? If I hadn't showed up here, what were you gonna do?" You know, I don't know. I said, "Well," he goes, "I didn't think you ever wanted to see me again." I'm like, "What? Come on, that's just crazy talk."
That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk.
He spent one night in the great outdoors, and he aged like 10 years. You know, his shirt was dirty and his hair was mussy. And so, are they picking on your son because of his hair?
No, they actually like him.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It is. I made him cut 1.5 inches off it, and you can tell. I took a before picture and the after picture. You can tell, but to somebody who didn't know, they wouldn't know that anything's been cut off of that mop.
You can't tell you used a bowl, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So his
it looks
hair
like
curly?
a beehive.
I'm trying to remember that picture now. Is his hair curly?
Yeah. He's got crazy blonde afro.
Crazy blonde, and that's natural.
Mm-hmm.
No blowout kits, no nothing.
Nope. It's natural. All natural.
Oh, wow. Well, I think you might have headed out yesterday before I did a, well, I didn't do a recap, you know, nothing dramatic like you do, but you know, you understand the thumb stuff. Thumb
I'm sorry.
Thumb up. You understand?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, tell me, does this lovely background show up in your channel? Or I tried to make it so that the whole channel looked like that, but I think I might have just made my side look like that.
It doesn't show up on that one. It doesn't show up on that one. Or that one.
Well, tell me, what is your default, de facto background? What does it look like?
It looks like. Oh, you took the charts back.
Yeah. Well, you showed it to me.
It's got the it's got like a. It's like a cityscape, but it's not an actual picture of a city.
Oh, it's that one I originally had. Yeah, that one still shows up on my phone. That's what was weird, is I changed the background, but on my phone it's still got the same background. So I created a theme. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, so this is just what happened so far this week. We're now in week 3 post beta. If it doesn't have anything beside it, then that means it's still pending. Thumbs down, stopped out, throw him to the lions, and thumb up, reach the target. So we've been trading, we've been doing alerts for, gosh, the Canadian dollar, which is worth less than $1, and Swiss franc. We've been doing a little copper, a little euro, a little pound. Oh yeah, got that gold. We're shorting gold. The first rally gold's had, and I don't know how long, and we've been shorting it for 2 days. Haven't exactly done that great with it, but yeah, it is what it is. We put a canary in the coal mine last night. Keeled right over, yeah, by one tick.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, we were using the Russell as our canary in the coal mine to figure out if we were going to spend the evening getting short or getting long. And it head faked us by one. The canary got us by one tick. So, we got a big one up in here. It's a swing trade. Now, we've not done anything quite like this before. This alert is for NQZ. We're still trading NQU. A lot of folks might not know that you can go out and trade that next month. I mean, if you wanted to. Let me bring up a chart and explain my madness.
Is there a spread in the DOM?
You know, because it's expected to be such a long-term trade, I suspect that there probably is. So let me just put it on 30 minutes. And oh, NQZ. NQZ. So see, if you're trading the NQZ when we roll over to that contract, I know I should put it on daily.
Oh yeah, there's a huge spread in the DOM.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, so we're sitting at 76.07, and let's see which. Okay, this alert is for NQZ8 and will most likely involve overnight margins. Talk to Bert. Call your broker. Consider buying the NQZ8, not the NQU8. 76.10 to 76.60 to 77.10. So it's a $2,000 per contract trade, 100 points, $20 per point, if it makes it to the final target. And again, that final target, I guess I probably shouldn't be given, oh well, 77.10. How far we got to go? Oh, did this thing, oh, it already triggered. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Okay, the high, 76.22, so it did trigger, because it says 76.10 to 76.60. But now because we're, oh, this is 4 hour. Well, I guess that's all right. Daily was what I was shooting for. Okay, this says the high has been 76.22. Okay, and we're trying to get to 77.10. Well, we'll keep you posted. How about that? Look at them zones. last week's zones. Remember when you and I used to try to keep track of the previous week's zones on our chart?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many lines, we just finally had to, give that up.
Yes.
But here, now these are last week's, but I tell everybody on Thursday, write them down. They might be of some benefit to you. Nice trade to target yesterday, and last week's zone serving as pretty good support. This week's zone is, oh, wow. Oh, I've been working off the wrong. Did you have the wrong set of zones the other day? Yeah, and the other night in the meeting or something, and I just realized.
I think so. Yeah.
I had my journal opened to the wrong set. Oops. Okay, if those daily doubles look a little, I don't know. They'll still work because I was looking at the chart. But 29. So we only got one more zone overhead, but we didn't get there by Tuesday morning. So, plus Trump messed that all up. He said messed it all up. So 29. Yeah, we got a little ways to go. I think we'll probably could get there. Putting in these new highs. Now the previous high was here, and then this came in overnight off the back of the Asian session. That's unusual to put in a new all-time historic high there, and then here. That looks like the high of the day to me. What do you think? That
looks like
9 to 9:30 candle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Mm-hmm. Because below us, what do we got? This is 2094. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. Gotcha. So no John yet, right?
Nope.
No John. All right. So let me think. What else is going on? There was something. Did we at the zone? Oh, I sent you an email. I copied and pasted something and sent it to you. Did you by chance have a chance to read it?
About that one fella?
Yeah.
I did. I replied to it.
Oh, so okay. That's cool. All right. Very good. Okay. So I'm sure you got places to go, things to do, people to see.
Yeah, gonna get Jake at school.
Jake at school. All right. So.
In a little while.
All right.
Anyway, John's still not here though.
I'm scrolling down through the tech news. Apple insiders are referring to 2018 as an iPhone S year, referring to Apple's old system of introducing a new phone design 1 year and then speed upgrades the S year the next. Okay. Tesla CEO Elon Musk started having second thoughts about taking his company private when advisors began lining up big name investors like rival car firms. Facebook has barred Myanmar's top army official for serious human rights abuses as it tries to atone for its role in spreading misinformation in the country. Officials identified the gamers Elijah Clayton and Taylor Robertson as the two people who died in the shooting at a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, I haven't heard too much about this. Have you heard about it?
No, this is the first I've heard about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I seldom look at the news.
Yeah, I understand. Tinder's co-founder, Sean Rad, said he had no choice but to sell his stock in the dating app maker a month before he left the company. According to The Verge, Rad was fired from Tinder's parent firm and would have lost the chance to exercise his options within 30 days. And Oculus founder, Palmer Luckey, reviewed the Magic Leap 1, a buzzy new mixed reality device, and was absolutely brutal. He described the device as a tragedy in the classical sense, less of a functional developer kit, more of a flashy hype vehicle that almost nobody can use in a meaningful way. Well, I gotta say, I agree with Palmer. Now he just sold his company to Facebook for like 10 billion, and the company he's saying, what he's saying here is the company I sold Facebook for, I don't know, 1 billion, 10 billion, whatever. It's just all become monopoly money, it seems. He's saying the technology's like, I don't know, thumbs down. Wonder what Mr. Zuckerberg has to say about that. Interesting. But these artificial intelligence, these augmented reality things, I don't know, man. The 3D stuff, it never caught on. I mean, I went to Fry's Electronics and I put on one of the, when they came out with this latest round of super duper 3D TVs, I went, put on the glasses, and playing on the screen was a Black Eyed Peas concert. And it literally was like I was on the stage with the Black Eyed Peas. I mean, and it was so cool for like 60 seconds. And then it made my head hurt. And I left the stage. Hey, do you have any desire? Your son's into, is he into gaming? What games?
Oh yeah, he is.
What device does he have?
Xbox.
Yeah, my son's got the Xbox 360, but he says that's so old school. His friends make fun of him. I don't know what the newest, latest, and greatest is, but
I don't even know which one he has, but he's driving Jada crazy playing it.
Is it the handheld model or?
No, he's got a. It's a TV one, and
what,
you know,
wear a headset.
Yeah, he's interactive and he's talking to his friends up north, playing with his friends up north. And so he's in here in this room, the bonus room, sitting on the couch and just screaming at the TV. Well, at his friends, actually.
Remember my previous co-host used to talk about his neighbor?
Do
you remember that? Screaming
at
his video games?
Yep.
Yeah. I feel horrible about that. Just horrible. All right, well, John's not here. I'm going to dive into these.
Nope, John actually just showed up.
Well, there's John.
Yep. Here.
John, we're going to open your mic.
There it is.
Mike's going to open the door and leave, probably. That's okay.
I did open the mic.
We got chats in the chat box. You know, the other day, I was getting ready to sign off, and I realized I never opened the chat box. And it was brimming. So, Dwayne asked a nice question. That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you. What is the minimum account size you would recommend for trading with LOGIC247? Well, Dwayne, one would depend upon your level of experience as far as trading goes. I would recommend that anyone, even if they are very experienced, start with one contract. Now, over the course of, let me just see this real quick. Over the course of one, see, you're not going to be able to trade every trade. It's not designed for that reason. But just yesterday, see, this starts August 28th. Just yesterday, we were selling the pound. This got canceled. The Dow, Swiss franc. If you, whatever you have, whatever is reasonable and right for you. I write about this a lot and I talk about it a lot. You should never feel obligated to trade an alert just because it's like water comes out of the faucet in your sink in the kitchen, but you shouldn't feel obligated to drink it just because it's there. And the same with the LOGIC247 alerts. You know, it's designed so that there's always something coming down the pipeline. But depending upon your account size and margins and all, there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration. Probably the best thing you could do is book a mentoring session with me and do that. Book a mentoring session. Michael, I gotta put you on hold just 1 second, and then I'm gonna talk to John. Can you give him can you type it in for him?
Yeah, I'll type it in. Hang on. I'm uploading a file. All right. Yes. To create a mentoring session, you need to go to www.cfrn.net/emini, PERSONALMENTORING. Did I spell all that right? That is it. That is how you get a mentoring session. Okay, just go there, book it. Book it, Dano. Yeah, so good. Hey, John. Added on. There it is. Final CFRN.net. URL.
Okay. I apologize. And,
Okay.
Did you send that out to all?
I take
Okay.
it.
Hey, John. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you with us. Michael, thanks for everything.
Yes.
You're welcome to hang out with us if you want. Got somewhere to go.
Okay, well, I can for a little bit.
All right, buddy. John, how are you?
Right.
John. Sean, if you're talking, we can't hear you. But you do have an open mic. You have an open mic opened by Mike.
That is true.
You don't get that kind of service everywhere you go.
That kind of symmetry.
Last night, Concierge Trade Alerts, not to be confused with LOGIC247, different. The email said to consider getting long at 2902. 2902. So, looks like we tagged 290375 right here. And important prices, important areas, almost always tested. And the next time around, we hit 2906 and a quarter. So I better write that down. Did you already tell me the recap of the recap? I don't think you did.
Today it took 10 trades, 110 minutes to get to 122.50. 10 trades, 122 minutes.
You know, we have a pretty financially savvy audience, so I think they all know that that translates into whatever dollar amount you are qualified to trade at. In other words, when you're trading new people, you don't want to trade 10 contracts or 20 or any number other than one, because someone who's learning to trade should be trading one.
That is correct.
So you're consistently profitable in sim. I know you just want to make some money, but it seems like the long way around, but trust me, it's the shortcut, if there was such a thing. You get consistently profitable in sim, go live with one, increase your account balance by $2,000, give you some cushion, and once you've done that, add your second. That doubles your pay. Doubles. Now you're at 200 a day, same work, same number of points, same amount of time that it takes you, however long it does take you each day to reach that goal. And then you go on a calendar-based schedule, and you'll know to the day when you're going to add number 3, number 4, number 5, unless something happens to get in the way of that. You might have to go back to sim. You might have to do a little troubleshooting. You might have to, regain your confidence. John, is that you?
Yeah, sorry, I had a bit of a glitch there a minute ago. I just fixed it. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, good.
So,
well, glad to have you.
Likewise. Thanks. It's kind of a slow day today after yesterday's drama.
Yeah, a little consolidation at the top, though. This is kind of interesting. You typically you consolidate sort of on the inside. Get a nice pullback, consolidate in here. But we're consolidating at the top. Does that speak anything to you?
Right now the VIXs, after being up this morning, have come down, they've gone slightly negative. I actually think we might be ready for another leg up before this thing is over. Look, if it breaks that weekly trend, which I think is obviously important because it's a record trend, then you know, it could definitely provoke a sell-off, possibly a pretty strong one. You know, quite a lot of stocks are off today, but not drastically. And after this early dip, they're kind of coming back again. So
do you think we're looking at? Do you think we've already seen the high of the day on the S&P?
no, I don't. Not necessarily. No.
All right. We've still
I think
got
there could be
we got a little ways to go to hit our highest weekly zone for this week. So.
Yeah, it could be a late rally today. You know, sort of closing above 2,900 would be a good deal, a good thing. We've got a little, you know, it's oh, hang on a second.
Oh, trust me, I know that the second I go live, every dog in town barks, every phone I got rings.
Yeah.
That's...
The thing that's standing out today, although it looks like a three-wave pullback, the Russell 2000 and the mid-cap, you know, they've pulled back from 1740 on the Russell down to about 1722. Now they're back to 1725. Looks like we're still going higher on those, and the mid-cap itself as well. We're over 2,000 now. Remember I said a while back that the S&P was sort of doing the same thing as last year, where it went up, you know, 100 points, 150 points. I think we've already gone way more than that, maybe 200 or 300 points since then, right?
Correct.
And now we're getting, now at 2,900, you know, we're getting this kind of magnetic pull up towards 3,000. So it does look pretty bullish. And the you know, the breadth is actually increasing because the Nasdaq hitting a new high yesterday. You know, you got the mid caps, the Nasdaq, the S&P all hitting new highs. The only one that's missing now is the Dow, and you know, the Dow's 600 or maybe 500 or 600 points from an all-time high right now. So it's almost, you know, a couple of days, you know, could be hitting new highs before the end of the week, the Dow. What we got to, and also the semiconductors are looking like they could break out into a whole wave higher here, which would be very bullish if that happens. So it definitely looks like more, you know, today, if we get through today without pulling back too much, I think you can count on higher levels.
What's the story on gold?
Unfortunately, it took a bit of a hit this morning. Got up. It was looking very good in the night, and the palladium got up to almost 950. It's come back $10. It's 940 now. It's going to be interesting to see whether, you know, the silver put on a bit of a show last night. It kind of broke higher, but it couldn't get over 15, which was a little bit of a disappointment. But
are you in Z,
you know,
on silver, U or Z?
No, I'm still in the U actually. No, thanks. I better go to the Z. Thanks for
Michael,
mentioning that.
when are we rolling the indices? Is that this week? Next week? Oh, I think we're still maybe 2 weeks out, right? Okay, this is a daily chart on silver, GSI U8.
Yeah, so silver did get over 15 on the December last night.
This thing really got beat down. From June 21st, we bearish cross June 21st, and until we get a bullish cross, prices will not go any higher. I hate to say it. It's too bad.
Yeah.
Also,
so, you know,
that National Inflation Association thing on gold. I'll make sure I send that to you. And it was entitled, "Is America Ready for Hyperinflation?" I think.
Yeah, I meant to send this to you earlier on today.
Oh yeah, you got some charts you want me to show?
Yeah.
Yeah, send them up. I'll show them.
Yeah. Just one sec. Okay.
Did you send them?
Just coming.
Okay.
By the way, you know, these shootings that go on, the Las Vegas and this most of these dramas have got some. It's usually the money. The money is ultimately what is behind these things. You know, we didn't know what caused the Las Vegas. You know, when a guy is a multi-millionaire, you'd hardly think he'd start shooting a whole lot of people from a hotel in Las Vegas. And it turns out, you know, he lost about $1.5 million, or so he was probably feeling very down in the dumps over it.
Now, is this,
And then
is this the first time this news has come out? I hadn't heard this before.
yeah, I know that came out recently. I meant to mention it before on the show. The Florida shooting was the same. Remember, the kid was going to inherit $750,000, and the people who were kind of looking after him were basically, I think, were trying to you know, get control of it or something. And that provoked that. And then this business with, probably heard about this Asia, the girl that Anthony Bourdain was dating.
No, I
And
haven't heard about that.
she's an Italian actress, and she's very, you know, she came out, she said, you know, she alleges that she was raped by Harvey Weinstein, and, you know, then it turns out she's possibly molested, or allegedly molested, some kid in California who was a child actor underage, and so she's being turned upside down. But what happened was that Anthony Bourdain apparently paid on her behalf $380,000 to this kid to keep him quiet. So, and then, you know, you wonder why he killed himself. Well, it looks like they must have split up a week or two later, because they kind of went, you know, that it was sort of widely known that they were separated, and maybe the guy was head over heels for her. I mean, it must have been if he's paid $380,000 on her behalf, and maybe felt that he got dumped or something and just couldn't take it.
Now, what was the dirt that somebody had on her? What had she done?
It's kind of weird. Asia Argento, I think her name is, and she's she was a child. She, you know, this kid was 6 or 7 when he first was in a movie with her, and I think she's known her all along. But now it's coming out that so she's being exposed as a kind of a, you know, as bad as Harvey Weinstein in a way. So, you know, everybody's upset about that. And then I'm thinking, well, you know, and then it turned out, then she was accused of paying the kid off, but it turns out it was Anthony Bourdain who paid it off, paid the kid off. So that's a pretty thick plot if you think about it.
Oh man, yeah, because
Yeah.
you know, it's coming back to me now. It's been a few weeks, but yeah, he took. No one understood why he took his. He took his life. It wasn't a drug thing. It was, he just. Wow.
Well, that could have had something to do with it, but you know, obviously, you know, maybe in a fleeting moment, you know, maybe in a moment of bliss, he kind of paid off this thing, and then a week or two later, it sort of dawned on him what a crazy thing he did, and maybe he just couldn't handle it, you know. In a moment, he might have gone into a depression over it. He was a kind of a guy who periodically got depressed anyway, so maybe. And then if she did dump him or something, you know, then that might have been enough to put him over the top, kind of thing. So yeah.
Wow, what a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. Okay, I got this first chart. You said the gold. This what you
Okay.
want to do? Just bring it like this. Is this what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Now is it this chart over here?
No, it's further down.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah, if you can go to the max on that.
Okay. Go to max.
Okay,
Will it
what's
blow
pretty?
up? Is there any way to blow it up, make it larger at all?
Don't think so. I think that's about as big as it gets.
Okay.
What's interesting about this chart is that, you know, the gold bottoms that have created rallies, you know, I mean, especially the 2016 rally was just about the lowest sentiment in maybe since 2001 or more. Well, we now know that it was, because the sentiment in 2001 was higher, I believe. But what's fascinating is that, if you can drop it down a bit, Dorian, what's fascinating is, no, down the other way. Show the, okay, there you go. See, no, show the chart again.
Okay. I think there's a little lag time by the time I get to where, so let me just let it sit.
Okay,
still.
there you go. Okay.
Right? Okay.
You see the top, you know, you had a meteoric rally. That was the biggest gold rally in 30 years, right?
In 2016?
And guess what? Yeah, all the you know, people were more along the gold off that rally, off that bottom in 2016 than they were in 2011 when it topped out. Imagine that. That's really quite an eye-opener, right?
Yeah, it is.
But it's also a kind of a sign of the latent bullishness of gold, because you know what it tells you is people believe that the bottom was in and that we were going way higher, and they went in, you know, head over heels. Obviously, we had the biggest move up in 30 years, and you know, the gold stocks had meteoric rises at the end of in 2016. So, but that fell apart, and now here we are. Look at that. You see where they were negative down the bottom for the first, possibly for the first time ever. I think we are for the first time ever. The hedge funds are short, are net short gold. They're not long, you know. They're actually net short.
8.7 thousand. Yeah, that's what this article yesterday. Where do I get that from? Let's see if I can.
Now, the implications of that are that, look, every time we've hit one of these bottoms, there's been a pretty big rally off each one of them, right? So the summation is, the assumption is, there's going to be a, you know, very big rally off this, you know, as it develops, and probably a week from now, this will be updated next Friday, so it may give us a hint of whether this thing has gone back above zero or not. And then if you can pull up the silver.
I can. Let me share this real quick with you on gold. On Friday, gold rallied by $19.30 to settle at 1206.30, its largest up day in the last 5 months. And then the CBOE released the commitment of traders report after the close. According to the COT report, hedge funds as of Tuesday's settlement were short a record $22.72 billion worth of gold, which is a new all-time high and 5.8 times larger than their trailing 12-year average. Gold short position of $3.92 billion. Hedge funds have increased their gold short position for the last 10 consecutive weeks, including 6 straight weeks of new record high short positions. While I've got this up, I'm going to go ahead and forward it to you, because if I don't, I'll forget.
Now, the point is that's a little bit out of date, because it doesn't reflect the short covering that happened on Friday, or the rally that happened on Friday.
No, you're right. This is through last Tuesday.
Yeah. The second thing is that this is not the commercials. The commercials rule the roost, and the commercials are actually covering their shorts. They've been covering their shorts during this decline, and they actually have been increasing their longs, not drastically, but to a certain extent. And remember, we showed you that kind of bell curve chart recently that's at the apex. The last time we saw that was in 2016. So we're certainly, you know, at an apex here where we are close to some sort of a potentially enormous rally unfolding. And if you can go to the silver now.
Yeah, I'm grabbing that link right now. Okay, here comes silver. what's up?
Okay, if you can go to the max on that one too.
Here we go.
Okay, you can see that
it's dribbling off the table there.
You can see that even though the silver hit $50 in 2011, look at how much more bullish the hedge funds were recently on silver when it was, sort of $18, $19 kind of thing, So,
so what do you take from this?
Well, I think it's a sign of latent bullishness. It's a sign that the next bottom could be something similar to what we saw back in 2016, and it could be an epic up move. That could be, and don't forget, if these people are short 22 billion, that's an incredible amount of short covering they're going to have to do. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have to hear it from me. You can figure it out yourself. If you go back and look at where the stock market was in 2011, October 2011, it had the biggest short position of all time, bigger than the bottom in 2009. So that is, it's just like, a couple of weeks ago, I meant to put this on the show. About 3 weeks ago, there was a chart saying that, people are buying more insurance on the downside than ever before on the stock market. That's 3 weeks ago. Look at where we are today. So in other words, people have been insuring against the down. When they pay more insurance against a down move, it usually means the market's going to go up, right?
Right.
Now, what's interesting about this chart, and you know that I usually, whenever silver is less down than gold, it's potentially bullish because silver tends to lead. Well, look at where we made the extreme lows on silver. Actually, it was probably in the first or second quarter of 2018, right? Versus where we dipped down last week was a higher low, which basically means that the hedge funds, even though they were short, are getting less bearish on silver, right?
Right.
So, and depending on where these charts end up this Friday, we're going to get a pretty good clue as to whether the bottom might be in on the silver and gold based on these charts. But there's an automatic divergence. There's a bullish divergence built in just by virtue of the fact that the extreme lows on silver were made several months ago.
Let me bring up the silver chart again. Just the silver. GSI. Alright, put it back on a daily. And I'm gonna put it I'm gonna go continuous contract at GSI. There we go. Okay. That's a daily. Let me take it up to a weekly. Okay, that's weekly going back to, we got data back to 2014, looks like. Yeah. So, wow.
Now the silver, it's not, the silver needs to get back over 1530 to be out of trouble, frankly. And it's 40 cents away from that right now, so it's not looking that great. The gold is actually looking better compared to the silver. But if the silver were to suddenly have a big update, that could change everything. Kind of similar to the palladium it just did recently.
So Elon's really backing down on his, just moving on to his latest comments. Do you think this was all a ploy?
Yeah, I think it was. He wanted to scare the shorts, and he certainly did. He got him to lose over $1 billion. He certainly scared him a lot, and but it's come back, to backfire on him really. And if the market were to turn down from here, I think Tesla would be a casualty. It's probably going to hold up because it's of the stronger market, but it's certainly well off the highs right now, and technically it doesn't look very good.
Hey, have you heard the term bats used? I know you say fangs a lot.
Bats?
Yeah, that's Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, I think.
Yeah, look, if Tesla gets over 320 again, it could pop. It could have one more pop to the upside. So I wouldn't.
TSLA. That's a daily on Tesla.
Yeah, you see, it's got to. I mean, it could be. You see how we reversed off this 290 level and we've come back up. You know, if it were to, if some good news comes out and it pops to 320, I think it could actually have a maybe get up to 340 or 350, somewhere like that, depending on what the news is. But there's a lot of things that are very tricky, you know, very dicey with Tesla right now, including the you know, the financial situation with the company and having to raise money, etc. They may have to do that.
This car you brought up the other day, not the flying car, but the electric car. What was the name of that again?
Lucid. I think it was Lucid.
Yeah. Oh, they off topic. They found that there's one of the Alzheimer's drugs that is currently in use. People who don't have Alzheimer's who take it are able to experience lucid dreaming with greater intensity and frequency. Yeah, I know. So this Lucid, I mean, is it a true competitor to Tesla?
I think so.
It looked like it to me.
Yeah, it looked really cool, this car. Sort of thing the Saudis would go for, you know.
Is it? I don't know if it Lucid Holdings? No, that's a software company.
Yeah, it was there a minute ago on the. It was further down. Yeah.
Mattress, Go Lucid, Lucid Data.
There it is. There you go.
There we go. Now, this is probably the biggest competition Tesla has, correct?
One of them, you know, they got BMW and Ford. Apparently, going to have about 14 to 20 electric cars soon.
Well, Chevy's had a number of electric cars. My previous co-host couldn't say enough good things about his Chevy Bolt. He really loved that thing. Have you driven one of these electric cars?
No, I haven't. No.
I never have. I drove a hybrid years ago, a rental car, when we had to go to California.
I don't think this new Model 3, I think the front looks a bit punsy, to be honest with you. It's nice inside and the rest of it, but the front of the new Tesla looks a bit kind of just not that great, not that appealing.
So how far away is this from being?
This thing, I think, is probably happening. You know.
You could go out and buy one today.
I don't know about that, but
right here, reserve my Lucid Air. There we go. Yeah. Secure your place in line with a refundable deposit of $2,500. Now, Tesla has a similar thing, right?
Yeah.
But theirs is more like 25,000 as opposed to 2,500.
No, I think it was about 1,000. It wasn't too much.
Really? Okay.
And they got 400,000 sign-ups or something like that. Some huge number.
Michael, who was just on, before he moved, he had a neighbor. I think it was a guy's a chiropractor. He had a Tesla, and they had to come and fix it or take it back to the factory at some point. But he's quite happy with it. And the fact that the software updates while you sleep, like your computer does, that's pretty amazing.
Pretty clever, yeah.
I mean, we're reaching a point pretty soon. I think you won't have to put a wrench to a car anymore. I know you still got to connect the wheels and all these other parts some kind of way, but I don't know. there's something in the air. There's so much innovation.
Yeah.
More so than. I sure would like to have a talk with that guy that wanted to close the patent office. You know, the guy who said, well, might as well close. Everything's been invented. Could be invented.
Yeah.
Has been. So
Yeah.
that was in like early 1900s.
1900s, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That's really something. The rest of the market today, the oil's coming back a bit off yesterday. You know, so it's got to be watched very carefully here, because if it could potentially, you know, turn back down into.
This is turning into, what do they call that? I'm not a pattern guy, but a megaphone or something.
It's sort of, yeah.
I watched it all last night looking for some kind of opportunity, and it just wasn't there.
Yeah. What we got to see with the metals here is another one of these turnarounds in midair. Like, you know, we've corrected some. If we were to suddenly go up again tonight, sort of rally into the end of the month, that would be pretty positive if that were to happen. It would be pretty constructive. I'm not sure if we're going to get there, but you know, I wouldn't rule it out, because the gold stocks are sort of finding a little bit of a bottom here. I don't know whether this is the real bottom yet. They did open higher this morning, and we sold them on the high went long a few days ago.
Our highest weekly zone for gold this week is 1259/1260. So I don't know if we have any. Do we have any big news coming?
Well, there's a guy, a very smart guy, one of these New York companies thinks that 1250 could be reached on gold. That would be a huge deal if that happens. I think the bottom would be most likely in if that happens. Don't forget the Fed. And you know, the next meeting is not that far away, and it's a virtual guaranteed rate hike, especially now after hitting new highs. So I think that you know, if remember the rate hike back in December last year produced $120 up move in gold. So if we get a rate hike now, it's quite possible something similar could happen. Maybe 100, maybe even a $200 up move in gold could happen on that. So, and you know, potentially, and once it happens, you know, if the market decides that it's time, you know, that that extra notch of rate hike is enough to start the next rally in gold. It could be just the beginning of a very big up move, because you know, maybe December they raise again. It's more bullish for gold, so that's probably going to be the determinant of this next the next few months in gold. And look, we've been down for most of the year, so generally speaking, right around Labor Day, what happens after Labor Day, if we have a rally in the gold, it's probably going to be a sign that we're going to rally over the next, going into the end of the year. And we're probably overdue for a rebound. In the meantime, yeah, that guy was right on that show a couple of weeks ago when he said he hoped the beans would be making new lows, and he certainly nailed that one. Obviously the buyers haven't shown up out of Europe yet, and they haven't shown up out of Mexico or China, so it's looking pretty heavy for the beans, actually. And unless there's a big turnaround, maybe the next report that comes out, the WASD report, it's either going to be another, if it's a bad news report, it might be a spike down and then a reversal. Maybe that's the bottom.
So let me ask you, are soybeans a part of your life?
How do you mean?
I mean, there's all this trade, all this talk, all this money around soybeans, but if soybeans vanish from the planet Earth, I don't think it would change the quality of my life any.
Unless you drink soy products, I guess.
No, because I've heard that it's, in the beginning it was really good for you, but now it's not so good.
Yeah, I've had people in the health business tell me to stay away from that stuff. So
yeah, now they're pointing you towards stuff like almond milk. I think that's what my wife gives the kids with the cereal, is almond milk. It used to be soy until the reports came out. But those doggone reports, 1 week coffee kills you, the next week you live to be 108 if you drink 8 cups a day.
Dwayne, can you pull up the Daily Mail there?
Daily Mail, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
TheDailyMail.com, is that how it goes?
Dailymail.co.uk, I think it is, but it'll come up if you Google it.
I'll just put in Daily Mail. Daily Mail, it'll find it. Daily Mail online.
Okay, just go down, just click on it.
Yeah, I did. It's thinking about it. I'm not as I gave Firefox another shot. What do you use Chrome 90% of the time?
Yeah. What, is it not opening?
Yeah, it's. I should probably see. Okay,
there you go. Okay, just go down a little bit. A bit more.
Franklin sure did not look like her.
Okay, see the search there?
Search.
Just put it in cancer.
Okay. Results for cancer.
Okay, go down a bit.
McCain. Okay. What am I looking for?
A bit further. Keep going.
Kate Middleton.
More.
Something about John McCain.
A bit more. Keep going.
Franklin, Reuters. Senator poised to take over armed services. More than 10 million Americans using e-cigarettes. Those things are really bad for you, I hear.
Yeah, just keep going, because
okay, it's way down. Okay.
You'll see this in a minute.
Trump honors McCain.
Maybe we have to put in a few more words to find the story. Okay, hold on, I'll get it for you. Hang on a second.
Just give me another keyword to put with cancer.
Just a second. Here we go. Michael English, cancer. See if that comes up.
That name sounds almost familiar. Michael English.
Yeah, there's the one. There's the story. Okay, see that? Yeah, click on that. From death's door to the all clear. That's an incredible story. This is the Keytruda that I told you about a long time ago on this show.
I see the commercials for it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's got one of the longest disclaimers, I think, of just about any of those pharmaceutical commercials. Okay.
This is for everybody. It's worth reading this article because it really explains.
I will put the link in the chat box.
How this guy who was literally 4 times they thought they had the cancer beat. It came back 4 times, and then the 5th time he used this immunology, this Keytruda, and he's cured.
72-year-old retired electrical engineer. Each time doctors tried the latest treatment on him, hormones, drugs, radiation, chemotherapy. They did this by mutating their DNA. Okay. But now the tables are being turned. And so
this is the one that Jimmy Carter. It saved Jimmy Carter, and that's really where the breakthrough came with him. And I mean, it's unfortunate that they weren't able to do the same for McCain, but it might have been a different kind of a cancer,
Right. Okay. So.
But the interesting thing about this one is that, I mean, I haven't seen this story related to this about prostate cancer. This is the first time I've seen that. But what's interesting about this Keytruda is it's, you know, if you've got cancer, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try and use Keytruda, because you never know, it might do the trick. You know, that's the point. Even no matter where your cancer is.
Okay. It says that the drug's administered once every 3 weeks. Okay. Indeed, Michael was so ill that after only 10 intravenous doses of the experimental drug, once every 3 weeks, he was taken off the trial. To complete the therapy, he should have received a further 29 doses. So he only got 10. He should have gotten another 29. Nevertheless, his doctor's team gave him MRI scans to check his progress and found his tumor had disappeared. You always hear those kind of stories. It's gone. You know.
Well, the fact that he only had a third of the doses is amazing. You know.
Well, yeah, it's probably got them scratching their head, wondering if a person really needs that many doses.
Well, that's the thing. There's no divine man upstairs who tells anybody how much medicine you're supposed to take. You know, all this stuff about how much you should be taking is probably could be too much or too little.
To target the cancer cells, first you have to stop them from evading detection by the immune system by cloaking themselves in proteins that identify them as healthy tissues. A new class of drugs rolled out over the past 7 years called checkpoint inhibitors, which include, this is the real name for Keytruda, unmask the cancer cells by blocking their fake cloaks. This cancer is really an insidious thing.
Yeah, sure is.
Coley first explored the theory of using a patient's immune system to fight cancer in the 1890s. After hearing of a man who recovered unexpectedly from cancer following a serious skin infection, Coley believed the infection provoked the patient's immune system to attack anything that looked alien, including the cancer cells. He vaccinated 10 other cancer patients with cocktails of bacteria and claimed that in several cases this spurred their immune system to destroy. That's pretty fascinating. You need to get that?
Yeah. Listen, I better say goodbye.
All right, John.
All right.
Have a great day.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay, back to the quiet, sleepy night. At least soybeans performed. Sell 845, and it took us down to a swing low of 835. That's 10 cents, and that's $500 per contract available. 12.50 per tick, 4 ticks to a point, just like the S&P. Of course, we trail a stop, so you're never going to get out at the swing high or swing low. Nobody does, unless they're just lucky. 845 to 835, 10 points, $50 a point, $500 per contract. The NQ just rolling sideways. Something. Now, we had a wide range day yesterday. It is not uncommon to expect a day of consolidation. However, the typical consolidation would look more like this. Here's the high from yesterday or last night. Price would get back inside of that day, and this going sideways at the top at an historic all-time high. These various markets. Wow, we finally triggered that. No, did we get a low of 13? Yeah, finally. Thought we were going to trigger here. Got 1213.2, and yep, well, we're in it now. We'll see what happens. We're not looking for a huge move. I think it's down to 1207, perhaps. Anyway, it's in the channel. Yes, TJ, there is a divine man. He just isn't giving out medical, he isn't giving out pharmaceutical recommendations. Gary said, I used to be a fan of Firefox, no more. Way too slow. I used Google Chrome now, much better. I use Chrome because it just seems to work. Now, Firefox works. I'm not saying it doesn't. And I was very much enamored with Firefox a few years ago. It seems like it was version 14 or something that all of a sudden it didn't behave like the same browser. And that's when I made my switch to Chrome. And I've tried going back a couple times, but it's always something like we saw today that sends me back to Chrome. Now on gold, it looks like a pretty good. It's 12.10 would be a pretty good target. 12.13. I think the trade was 12.13 to 12.10 to 12.7. On the concierge trade alert, it was consider selling 12.14. All right, so we're in it for almost $1 now. $100 per contract. Crude, couldn't figure that out for the life of me. And you know, when you can't figure out a chart, you can't figure out a market, the worst thing in the world you can do is to sit there and try to figure it out. Get up and walk away. Because if it doesn't jump out at you, if it doesn't say, here, pick me, trade me, just leave it go. There's too many opportunities to not just trade the very best. TJ says, have you tried Edge? Is that the new Microsoft browser? If it is, I have heard good things, but I haven't tried it because somehow I got it ingrained in my mind that Microsoft browsers are always bad and you should never use them. But I hear this one is actually pretty good. And I would have to look at the security, if there's any security flaws or issues. But what is it in particular, TJ, that you like about the Microsoft Edge browser? Does it seem faster than others, or is it more secure? Anything in particular? Now the concierge trade alert, we were looking to sell 68.85. 68.85. So it's not that there wasn't anything to be made in crude last night, it's just that it wasn't. 68.85, we hit a low here of 55. Well, that's $300 per contract right there. You could do worse. From 85 down to 21 to $600, $650 per contract on this move. Yeah, we could live with that. Haha, the old canary in the coal mine. You rascal. This thing got one tick. Is that one? Is that it? 17. Yep. 1727 was our canary in the coal mine number, and this thing got to 1726.90 and ran up to 33. Dropped. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested, so it finally did, and what we were looking for. The trade was 27 to 24, as I recall, and it all happened in that one candle right there. Unfortunately, I think we were already stopped out by the time it happened. It'll be on the recap in the Telegram channel. TJ says that the Edge browser is fast and they keep updating it at a furious pace. Netscape Navigator. Was that a Microsoft product? Way back in the day, one of the first browsers. Netscape. Or no, Netscape was a separate company from Microsoft. Did they get bought out? I mean, I don't ever hear of Netscape Navigator in this day and time. Netscape Navigator. Whatever happened to Netscape? Funny you should ask. Okay, Whatever happened to it? Netscape's story reads like a proper fairy tale. Takeovers, fierce and hostile competition, split-ups, a giant payout, and even a dragon. While Netscape may now only be a sweet, sweet memory to those who used it to first discover the web, the browser's monstrous impact has cemented it as one of the first and most important startups to shape the internet. Well, this might even be worth reading to someone who has an interest in that kind of thing. I'll put it in the chat box. Before Google, my go-to search engine was called Dogpile. It was a meta search engine, and it went out and searched like 5 different search engines at once, and it brought you back, I think, the top 2 results from each one. So you had 10 results, but they were let's see, they gave you the top 2 unless they were duplicates. Yeah, they had some kind of algorithm. Dogpile. Do they still have Dogpile? Dogpile web search. Still there. Making life simple. Got your images, your video, your news. This is just some pretty HTML on top of Google at this point, I'm guessing. Add Dogpile to your browser. Make Dogpile your home page. Okay. Well, we've wound our way through a whole lot of excitement here with these sideways markets. I think that could be the high of the day unless we make some kind of final run. I don't know. Still got a ways to go, but not too very far for that weekly, the highest weekly zone. Good word for the day. If you got any questions, if you're new, if you don't know, the chat box is there for you. If you have a question, feel free to type it in. I'll be happy to answer it. No one can see what you type except myself, Michael if he's here, Bert if he's here. Nobody else. We're not here to judge you. We're here to help you if we can. So, when we have troubles in life, we try everything. You know, from the latest pharmaceutical remedy to whatever. There's always something new. There's something shiny and new. But when all else fails, now this is an ancient tale. When all else fails, we resort to God. He's the God of last resorts. Our job, our bank account, or whatever seem to come first, and when nothing else works, or everything else stops working, then we cry out, oh my God. Acts 2:38. Then Peter said to them, repent. A sign on a church notice board read, try God week. God week. The idea was simple enough. If you try him for a week and don't like the results, you can go back to your old life again. Now, Peter didn't tell the crowd on the day of Pentecost to try God for a week. He simply preached, repent, and let every one of you be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. For the promise is to you and your children, and to all who are afar off, as many as the Lord our God will call. Acts 2:38 and 39. Maybe this better explains it. A fish doesn't try water. It needs water in order to survive. Plants, they don't try soil. They need soil in order to grow. And likewise, we, the people, don't try God because we need God. because there's a void within us that only God can fill. The good news is He wants to do more than just come into your life. He wants to take over your life. This was so clear to me when I made that first trip to Africa. Here in America, church and God are a big part of many Christians' lives. In Africa, what I found out is if you're a Christian in Africa, God and church is your life. And that's what this is talking about right here. He wants to do more than just come into your life. He wants to take over your life. But I struggle with certain weaknesses, you might say. The truth is, we're all born with certain proclivities. Some are just more obvious than others. That's why every one of us needs to be born again. John 3:3. As Jesus explained to Nicodemus, that was the original Nick at Night. Although he had a natural birth, he needed a spiritual birth to enter God's kingdom. Salvation and the guarantee of heaven take place immediately. All you have to do is put your trust in Christ. But submitting to the Lordship of Jesus is a project you'll be working on from the new birth to the New Jerusalem. And that's our good word for the day. And that's going to do it for today. This fine Tuesday, 28th day of August, 2018. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.